Well, there's been bold speculation in the media today that Ford will pull out of local car production by 2016. Ford says it won't comment and has not returned the ABC's calls, but industry insiders say it's unlikely to stop production altogether. But like the other big two manufacturers, it will need to develop a new, smarter and smaller model to survive. Emily Stewart reports.
Australians love their cars, driving 1 million new vehicles out of the showrooms every year. But with local car makers struggling to grab a shrinking slice of the pie, there have been reports of Ford pulling out of the competition altogether.
Ford's got a fantastic product, engineered to world-class standards, and I think it's very premature and a little bit irresponsible for people to be putting them down the way they are.
Ford's volumes have obviously got to a point where something significant will need to happen in terms of them continuing into the medium term. But I think we have options in regard to what that might look like. It could be a new vehicle build, it could be a new model that Ford might look at working into its portfolio.
Car manufacturing in Australia has been in gradual decline, down from 410,000 vehicles in 2004 to just under 220,000 last year. The demand for new vehicles is strong, with 800,000 new cars imported each year.
I think consumers are showing that they have a preference towards smaller vehicles. That's being seen in the numbers. But having said that, the largest growing vehicle component sector in the market at the moment is the SUV sector, which are perhaps larger vehicles as well.
And analysts say Holden and Toyota are already developing new models such as hybrid and electric cars to suit the Australian market.
We have seen responses from Toyota, from Holden in regard to their model mix with the hybrid Camry and with the Cruise models being introduced. And I think certainly the future of Ford would depend on a similar strategy in terms of seeing whether there is another model opportunity within their portfolio.
Cruise was an imported vehicle. We looked at it and we said this makes sense to localise. We localised and we increased sales by 40%.
The most successful car component manufacturers are also moving with the times, expanding their businesses to export to overseas markets and diversifying their products to suit other industries such as rail, defence, aerospace and mining. And car companies are also helping their suppliers to find new markets.
So we're doing a lot of work with exposing a lot of our Australian supply base to the global supply chain network. And over time you'll see that, one, they get known, and then with the technology that we have here in Australia and the maturity that we have in Australia, the business will eventually come.
They're looking at moving up the value chain. So commodity products and products that are perhaps low in intellectual property, we're not generally competing in that space anymore internationally. We're competing at the higher value end products and trying to enter markets using higher value products that contain more intellectual property. That's where the market is for Australia going forward.
Diver Consolidated is one of the success stories. Since the 1940s, their core business has been car parts, but in the last few years they've branched out. Exports now account for 17% of the business and non-automotive products are growing too.
It's about having a product which is good, it's competitive from a technology perspective, and all of those issues that we face around the tyranny of distance and low labour costs, we try and offset them with good products and good technology and good quality.
But parts makers are feeling the chill of Ford's woes. This month, Ford announced 440 jobs would be axed, with local production slashed to just 33,000 cars a year.
We don't consider that it will shut down.
The Blue Oval's been on Australian roads for half a century, and optimists are predicting it will still be here for decades to come.